And now we have Sheena to tell us about her study tips. So my first question, you were top 3 in the Architect's Professional Licensure Exam. What are the tips that you can give our students in terms of studying? Because the students, our viewers, could be coming from different professions. Tell us some things that could be a little bit more universal and something also that could be very specific to students studying architecture.
Okay, I can probably summarize it in 3. Number one is the basic thing of making a schedule or a plan. When we say a plan, one aspect is the schedule, the time. So that's macro and micro. Macro because from the start of the review, you have to look at what is the amount of time remaining for you until the exam. What are the topics that have to be covered? And then micro, how do you divide your time on a daily basis? So on my part, since I was able to take a leave, so I also understand that not everyone will be able to take a study leave. Others naman can do that, or probably like they just graduated from college, so the time before they actually apply to work is their time to do the review and then take the exam. So that will be an ideal setting. But let's just say that one is working while one is studying. So one also has to adjust based on the other demands that she has or other duties. Depending on your circumstances, the schedule will differ, but you just try to make it realistic for you, because it's also necessary to put the many other things that you have to do, and that also includes family time and then time for your rest. Okay, so as saying, one aspect is the schedule, and another aspect would be how you study. So given your circumstances and the time that you have, what is the best way for you to be able to cover, if not everything, but a substantial amount of the materials that you have to study? Because really, after all, not everything will come out of the exam, and so you have to also be wise with how you spend your time studying, where to focus on. So this is something specific to us. For example, as architecture graduates, we undergo a 2-year apprenticeship period, and in that period we're expected to learn, to practice as it is done in actual life. And part of it is not only making drawings or designing, but doing site supervision and actual construction work. Although we're not the ones really doing the construction work, but you have to know how things are done. Now, there are people like myself who didn't have the opportunity to do a lot of supervision work on site. So I realized that this is where I need to focus more. So that's how I divided my time, and that's how I tried to choose also what kind of materials I'm using, because there are many materials available. I'm very sure your review centers are able to give you really good summaries, and if you really lack the time, I would suggest that you focus on studying those materials because they're really made for the board exam, for example. But there are also times that it is good to refer to books, references, and but it is not advisable, given the time does not allow it, for you to read it from cover to cover. It is really unwise because, for example, it happened to a colleague of mine that she wanted to read the National Building Code, to be very familiar with it, but then with just 2 weeks left, she ended up not being able to read it even halfway. And then there are many other things that she has to review aside from the law. So it's we realize that your exam is not just about one aspect but many. So you really have to divide it with, or to allocate the resources, your time, the materials, cost-wise also, because you cannot buy from other reviewers, although I'm sure that you can also, like what I did, borrow from your seniors.
Were you doing the review while you were doing the 2-year practice?
Alright, no, it has to be after.
Okay, so it seems that there's so many things to cover and you already have somehow an advantage because you have work experience, and somehow the concepts get to be more retained if you have the work experience. But as you said, you have to focus on some things that somehow you did not have experience, like being in a supervisory position, so you have to study more on that. But with so much, parang I can sense na ang dami-dami talagang dapat pag-aralan. So how did you balance the studying and the resting? Because of course, it will be ineffective if pagdating na board exam, masakit ang ulo mo, and with so many things. How did you rest?
The first thing that I really did, knowing myself, is to take a leave, so study leave from work. So after completing the 2 years required, I took a leave, and then I resolved, I really tried to resolve to do it, to study from 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. So that's the first step. You have a schedule, and then you determine what are the extents of the time you're going to study, and then also what times are you supposed to rest. So that's how I determined it, that 8 to 5, like as if I am also working, and then my weekends are also free for other things that I would like to do. So my rest includes, I remember that time I also volunteer as a tutor for high school students, and I find it restful. So that's one activity. On other times, I go out and literally also while doing a bit of review by visiting museums, architectural monuments or buildings which are designed by national artists. So that's hitting two birds in one stone, because one does a cultural trip, and at the same time refreshes one's memory, because you also have the architectural history as one subject. So another is doing sports with friends. So since I was at the time also staying in UP Diliman, many times I'd spend some evenings after reviewing doing jogging, or on Sunday I also jog. Okay, I invite some friends if they're available. So that's and then eat out after jogging.
So that's really good, no? Really putting some physical exercises there. So I really wanted to have a better idea, like what is your day like, Sheena? In those days that you are reviewing, is that like study and then you go out and jog?
Well, I actually start my day by when I can. I really try to attend Holy Mass daily, right? I say when I can, I try to attend it in the morning, but if not possible, I do it many times also in the evening. But basically, I start my day praying, and then in that way, I also try to offer up that day to God, because I realize that He's the one who is helping me to study where my talents come from. And I really believe, I'm convinced that if I start my day like that, He will make that day more fruitful than I could actually imagine. After that, I of course do my other routines like eating, then preparing myself, and then study. That's really a whole block. It's a struggle, but what helps me also is that I recall my motivation. So what are these? Number one really is be a good architect, to serve people, and then many times during the day I stop for a few moments of prayer again, because of course the mind needs to pause. Then I also have a study buddy, so we spend some time in like a coffee break. That's also helpful. And then, when the 5 p.m. Strikes, really I try to stop already, so that there's time for me to rest. In the evening, I also try to read for an hour, which is self-determined lang naman yun. And it depends on you if you want to make it longer, but you also have to sleep on time. So I also end my day while offering up again the rest, what has been done to God. Okay, giving Him thanks and asking also for the grace to start another day, the following day, with perhaps more energy, or trying to do things better for whatever I've seen over time. Because there are times that you will really not be able to follow your schedule, and it's normal, but you have to just try to begin again the following day.
I suppose you analyze what is it that you were not able to finish in the review yesterday so that you could finish
Yes.
it, no?
Yes, because there are times that you really have backlogs. So it happened to me as well. So yeah, it's normal.
Yes, that's very good. But already starting with the schedule. So yours, what you mentioned is really a very concrete way of leaving that review period, having a schedule. So that's really good, no? And being able to review, keeping track, what is it that you missed out the previous day. So it's like always daily examining yourself. Where is it that I have to put more effort today, no?
Yes.
So we're ending this interview, and I would like to ask Sheena for the last words of encouragement to the students right now who are facing the pandemic and in a very different situation than what we had before, probably because this is almost the first time that we had this type of pandemic in many years. So Sheena, can you give us your last words to the students?
This time is very unique. I myself, I'm struggling with doing a self-paced study. I think that since everyone's going through it, we can bank on the support of our classmates or colleagues, okay? Don't worry too much, okay? And one really just have to do her best, his or her best in the situation that he or she finds in. And if he or she needs help, then the simplest way is to ask for it through your friend or through the professor, look for the proper channel, because I'm sure that people are willing to help. With that, you will not feel alone, and you'll be able to go through this, because although we don't know when this will end, definitely it will have an end. When the time comes, we'll find ourselves to have matured or grown better in many aspects.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheena. Minervios ka ba? But really, I think the last tip on don't worry too much is very important for students. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.
So we are going to end here, and I do hope you learned many things from our young Sheena Sablan. Do subscribe in the link below, and with the notification bell, also put it on so you will be notified if I have a live stream, if I have a live interview with Topnotchers or someone who's a Latin honor graduate. So click the bell for that notification, and do subscribe, and I hope you get a lot more tips and a lot more encouragement from these ones who have gone ahead in all of these achievements and who can probably really be your model, your example in terms of studying hard. So I'll see you in the next one.